You've tuned in to the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
You realize what you've done?
With Rich Liebig.
A real gangster plays his cards, right?
And Michael Costanzo.
What was that you just read?
Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news.
Good times, noodle salad.
The point is, you now have the ability to be happy.
And now, here's Rich and Mike on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Woo! Yeah! How you guys doing?
What's up, everybody?
It's time for this week's episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. We are here to give you some of the most interesting tidbits in the world of sports, entertainment, odd news, and whatever else we happen to stumble across in this hour-long or so podcast. Thank you guys for joining us. We are back to an original rundown, if you will. We had a little bit of a detour last week with the Eagles winning the damn Super Bowl.
Oh, we had to.
Yeah.
We had to devote an entire episode to that.
Yeah. Unbelievable. The second Super Bowl championship here in the city of brotherly love.
Still flying high.
Yeah. I don't want to dismiss it.
No.
Like, I've noticed that, like, this has been the week now that some people are starting to, like, you know, turn off the green lights. Maybe you put away, you know, a couple of things. I'm like, no, I want this to keep going.
Not for me, because my Super Bowl merch is still trickling in. I get one thing a day. I don't know why. I ordered, I ordered stuff for me, my parents, Jordan. So, you know, I have like 8 or 9 different things, but they're coming one at a time. I don't know why they couldn't, like, somehow group them together. So I get to relive it every day.
Yeah, so
Every day in the mail, I'm like, that's right, we won the Super Bowl.
It's trickle down Super Bowl.
That's the only and best kind of trickle down.
Yes. So other than the Super Bowl leftovers that we've been feasting on, how are you doing, Mike? Anything else to report from the world of Costanzo country?
No.
Fantastic.
I'm doing just swell. No. It was a relatively quiet weekend, you know, just staying inside, playing video games, watching some movies. I did get a chance to check out Godzilla -1 recently. That's like, I think it was 2 years ago that came out.
That got some.
It got some
awards.
Yeah, it did. It got some awards attention because it's not just a monster movie. It's more about post-World War II Japan and kind of like the survivor's guilt, the PTSD that the soldiers were suffering. Godzilla, of course, an allegory for the atomic bomb. It's not really a monster. Yeah, no. Believe it or not, yeah. So I watched that. That was really good. I was just watching some movies. I haven't been checking out the Oscar Best Picture nominees because so many of them are still either in theaters or it's like $20-$30 to like buy it on a streaming service.
Yeah, they're still relatively new.
Yeah, so I've been, you know, I haven't been able to catch up on any of them.
Little surprise down the road. Speaking of movies, Conclave won Best Picture at the BAFTAs.
Oh, it was very good. And on second view, like I said a few weeks ago, on second viewing, I appreciated it more.
That was an interesting twist there.
Why? What did you think was going to take it?
Well, the odds have either been directed towards now you just made me cause a blank. The one that begins with A, Honora. That's been favored, and The Brutalist. They're like 1 and 2. They're trading blows.
I've heard Brutalist was very good, but people say you got to see it in theaters. I think it's a biopic on an architect.
Yeah, an immigrant.
Yeah. And Honora's that's the immigrant sex worker story.
Yay, immigrants! Woo!
So I have not seen either of them. Like I said, they're all, you got to buy them. And I'm trying not to. I caved on Wicked because everybody wanted to watch Wicked. And I was like, all right, fine.
Yep.
Whatever. I caved on that one. I'm not going to do it again.
Okay.
That's it. That's the one that I'm buying.
All right. Make a note of that right now.
Making a note. What have you been up to?
I watched and finished Cobra Kai.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. I forgot the third.
You don't have an excuse now. Now it's
now
all done.
No, you're right. I gotta watch it now.
It is all done.
It's
start to finish.
There's no other surprise. Part 4 to season 6 is there?
No, this is it. Yeah, Netflix officially dragged this out as far as they could go.
So spoiler-free review. Go for it. How was it?
If you can stomach the ridiculousness of everything, then you're good to go.
If you've made it to season 6, there's a fair expectation that you're able to stomach it.
like
right?
you have to just accept the world that it's in.
Right.
The fact that karate is like the NFL of this world.
For some
And-
reason, everything is solved through karate.
Yes, and just I really want to say something, but I can't because it'll be spoilers. But just the ridiculousness and just like one-upsmanship of everybody in the show is fantastic. And if you can stomach that, then you're good to go. But if you're one of those people that watches a movie or TV show and you're like, oh, that'll never happen, well, then this show's not for you.
My mom has been saying that recently because my dad's been diehard watching it. And she's like, it's just the same thing over and over again. I'm like, oh, you watch Law and Order. Is that not the same episode?
Yeah, isn't the same thing over and over?
Just with slightly different crimes and different people? Like, it's a procedural, but with karate. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of...
Every episode is like, teen angst, I know, we'll fight.
Yeah.
Oh, teen angst,
Take
I know.
that.
And yeah, it's the same thing, but
I mean, that does make sense.
a lot of shows are kind of that way. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's a karate procedural.
it's a karate procedural. So I'm
right,
excited.
I like that.
I'm excited to check out my karate procedural. So I gotta get on that.
If
Finish.
you do it, I think we need to do a spoiler
we should
review.
We definitely should. Yeah.
because there is some ridiculous things that happen, and we need to talk about it.
Okay. All right.
So
I don't know how they top the literal invasion at the end of season 5.
oh, they do.
Like that was wild.
Guess what they do?
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
Did they lay siege to a small city? Like, I'm not gonna. I feel like that was a little too close to being true, so I'm gonna stop trying to guess.
Yeah, you'll find out.
Okay.
But yeah, if you haven't seen it, I would recommend. If you've made it, yeah, it's like you said. If you made it to season 6,
You're on board.
yeah, you're on board. You're gonna enjoy it. If you haven't, then yeah, it's not for you. All right, but there you go. That's what we've been up to in the past week or so. Now let's get to the news headlines at hand. The first batch of topics revolve around sports. We need to get to the sports sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports.
In your face! Ha! That's right. Sports coming at you in your face. Let's do Eagles off-season news here. The big one, we all kind of knew this was coming because, as usual, the Eagles just can't keep offensive coordinators. This is going to be the 4th change in 4 seasons.
Yep.
But Kellen Moore officially poached by the New Orleans Saints. He didn't have to leave. He could have just stayed in New Orleans.
Yeah, really. They could have saved some money on a plane ticket there.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So he's leaving his ass in New Orleans, and he's going to be the head coach down there. Good luck, because he's going to need it, because they have one of the weirdest cap situations that I've read about.
I would hope that he has something in his contract where they're like, okay, you have like 3 seasons to build this team.
Well,
because
don't they always say that?
No, but I mean like actually in writing.
You can't go with that. They always say something like that, and then if you start out like 1-10, they fire your ass.
Well, I would hope here's the thing that frustrates me about teams is the Saints are like, oh, a new head coach will fix everything. You're giving him negative money to start.
Yeah, he literally has
so
no cap
how
room.
is he supposed to fix it with negative money? So best of luck to him. We'll see. Our coordinators have not fared very well after leaving the Eagles.
Yeah.
I've noticed. So I hope that doesn't continue for Kellen Moore. Wish him the best. He helped us bring home a second Lombardi trophy. So, you know, that means something here in the city. But as for the Eagles side of the ball, we promote the pass game coordinator / associate head coach Kevin Patullo to the new offensive coordinator. So I take it by the sound effect you're not excited.
I mean, it just sounded
Like, how are we supposed to react to
I
this?
know, because it's like
that's the thing. It's kind of like
And if you listen to Philly sports talk, yeah, it's been like a kind of just meh. You know, are we sure this is the direction we want to go in? Because the last time we promoted within, it went horribly wrong.
Internal promotions, historically, the past several years have not gone well. You go back to Doug Peterson, right?
Yeah.
After, Frank Reich leaves, they promote from within twice, and they get progressively worse each time.
Yep.
Nick Sirianni, in replacing Steichen, promotes internally. That led to the 2023 season, which nobody wants to relive.
Nope.
So promoting from your own ranks again, maybe third time's the charm.
Hopefully.
Or I guess technically this is the fourth time. The only thing that I will say that is kind of a positive in my book is that, the thing about Hurt's career so far has been that he hasn't had the same offense more than 1 year in a row. And so they're hoping that Kevin Patullo brings a little bit of consistency in that he's been with the team since 2021 in some kind of passing game coordinator role. So, hoping to carry over that sort of consistency where he worked with the passing game for several years. Now he's just, climbing up the ladder a bit. So I'm hoping that is a positive. The negative, the concern for me is the history with promoting from within. We seem to do better when we bring in outside ideas.
Yeah.
To keep things fresh.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And the offensive side of the ball is always kind of the side you want to have younger, newer talent because they obviously are usually thinking of new plays, new ways to, different, formations, different routes, stuff like that.
Yeah, you want guys to challenge the status quo.
Right.
Come up with something
that's
new.
on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, for some reason it's like defense. It's like going old school works right now.
Right.
But offense, you got to have like some kind of crazy, insane. Like you got to have people doing handstands and cartwheels before the snap, and then it's like 1,000,000 yards. I don't know. The passing offense in today's NFL is like wild.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to just running every single play is a 4-yard in or out or a slant? West Coast offense. Let's go back to that.
That's not exciting enough.
No, apparently not.
Yeah. So we'll see how well Kevin Patullo will do as the new offensive coordinator. Good luck to him. And then do you want to talk about free agents? Or I don't know. We got time on this, I think.
Is it too early to talk about free agents?
Let's still enjoy the Super Bowl.
Let's still enjoy the Super Bowl. You're right.
Yeah. Remember that? The Eagles won the Super Bowl. Remember that?
We'll just focus on the good news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah. That was fun, huh?
That was a lot of fun.
Excellent.
I think we have a chance to go back. This wasn't on the rundown, but I want to talk about it. I think we have a chance to go back.
Oh, of course the Eagles have a chance.
No. I mean, do you think
they're the favorite? Are they the outright favorite?
I think there's a serious chance they could go back. The offense stays pretty much the same.
Yes.
The defense, there's some concerns. That's what the segment was about, but we're not going to talk about that. But I think that we still have a fair chance to go back because Vic Fangio is coming back.
Yeah.
Vic Fangio gets the most out of. He took 2 rookie corners. It's supposed to be the hardest position in football. He took 2 rookies, and he makes them basically Pro Bowl level talent.
Yeah.
He takes
unbelievable.
He takes a 4-man rush. Arguably, we've had better pass rushers on the defensive line in previous years, but we were able to do something that we couldn't 2 years ago in the Super Bowl or last year. So he's getting the most out of guys. He took Zach Bond, made him an all-pro, coaching up Nakobe Dean, becoming a leader of the defense. So as long as you have that kind of leadership, he's going to be able to take players and mold them to fit the scheme or mold the scheme to fit them and bring the best out of everybody. So I'm pretty confident. Everybody's like, the Chiefs will be right back there. Why not the Eagles? Why is everybody like, they lost, but the Chiefs will be back? What the hell? I seriously just heard that take today. Someone was like, the Chiefs, you don't got to worry about them. They'll be back and better than ever. The Eagles, I don't trust them. It's like, dude, what the hell?
They literally just won the Super Bowl. Why can't you trust them?
Yeah, why is it every other team, they win, and they're like, they're the favorites. They're going to make it back. Power rankings, Eagles 5th. What?
What was that on an article you saw?
I saw an article where it was like the way too early 2025 power rankings. Eagles were 5th behind the Chiefs, the Lions, the Ravens. I'm like, you guys know these teams lost, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll flip the script here just for a minute. Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Is he now a top 3 quarterback?
No, but top 5.
Okay. I mean, you're kind of splitting the hair. Okay.
Well, because in terms of just sheer like volume and
'Cause-
production, nobody touches Allen and Burrow. Just, and that third spot, that's kind of up for debate. I know people want to put Lamar there. People want to put Patrick Mahomes there, somewhere in the top 3. So
Okay.
absolutely at a minimum 5. Because I remember before last offseason, he was
Yeah.
like 8th. You got to rewrite that
so-
list now.
All right. So I remember that list. We were upset because he was ranked behind Justin Herbert. I've seen people still saying that they would rather have Justin Herbert than Jalen Hurts.
No.
And I'm like, even after Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl, what more do you want him to do? Like,
Yeah.
Justin Herbert hasn't sniffed the divisional round. I think. I don't think he's even made it past that round.
No, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like his production's been slipping too the past couple of years.
Well, this season,
Like he started really hot, and he's kind of like slowed down a little bit.
Well, this season with Jim Harbaugh as the new head coach, he switched it to a run first offense.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, there's some things about this that get me bothered as well, and that's one of them too. I've been reading that Jalen Hurts is still not cracking the top 5.
But like, why not?
Yeah, he won a Super Bowl.
Why
what
not
else do you want?
Why not the Eagles? So I found the power ranking.
Where is it from?
ESPN.
Oh, those bastards.
This was posted at 10:30 p.m. on Super Bowl Sunday.
Right after the Super Bowl.
Right after the Super Bowl, they have, this is their power ranking for 2025. Kansas City Chiefs at 1, Buffalo Bills at 2, Detroit Lions at 3, Eagles at 4.
Still lame. Yeah, come on. They won the Super Bowl.
They won the Super. How do you put 3 teams above them? They just won.
Disrespect.
You put the team that they beat at 1, the team that lost to the team that we beat at 2, and the team that didn't even make it at 3.
Yeah.
Why not the Eagles?
Yeah, very disappointing. We don't like this Eagles
slander.
dissing.
This slander.
I mean, what more do you want from the team? They won a Super Bowl. I don't get it.
They could repeat and they'd be like, yeah, but I'm not wrong.
No. But here's something that you would be wrong on. Some other Super Bowl NFL news. Because, boy, you would think after all the mess with Deshaun Watson, you would think if I was a player, I don't think I would come in contact with any other female massage parlors, like any other place where I could be, labeled as.
Yeah, but Rich, Deshaun Watson was one of those like lesser known positions, like quarterback. Because when you are like the elite of the elite, like a kicker in the NFL.
Yes, very important.
Yeah, so unfortunately we have to talk about Baltimore Ravens star kicker Justin Tucker.
Yeah, boy. He already was having a bad season.
And look, as a kicker, you don't have much leeway, all right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's facing allegations now of sexual misconduct, accusations from spa and massage parlor therapists. 16 of them.
Oh, yeah, boy.
be
We're
exact.
talking Deshaun Watson
Is he
numbers.
trying to break Deshaun Watson's numbers?
He's on pace.
Because we delayed the story because of the Super Bowl, and now this week there's 7 more that popped up. So next week, is it going to be another more?
I mean,
7
yeah, if
more?
he gets another 7, that's 23. How many did Deshaun Watson have? Like 30?
I think he had like somewhere in the mid-20s, high.
Yeah, he's on pace.
He's on pace, which is not good. So, in all seriousness, though, 16 massage therapists have accused Justin Tucker of sexual misconduct during his first 5 seasons in the league. So this is going back to 2012 through 2016. Claims that he exposed himself, brushed his exposed genitals.
Wait a minute.
Against them.
When did Deshaun Watson get flagged for his? Wasn't that around 2016?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, my God.
When did he come into the league? Was it around that time?
I think it was around that time. So does that mean like he was doing this and he saw Deshaun Watson getting caught and he was like, all right, maybe I should stop now.
Oh, he's like, yeah.
Oh, maybe this isn't a thing I should be doing.
Wait, I shouldn't do this?
This is frowned upon?
I'll never understand how these athletes just think that this is totally acceptable. So yeah, exposed himself, brushed his therapists with his exposed genitals, and left what appeared to be ejaculate on the massage table at least 3 times, according to accusers.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
It's almost like odd news. It feels like that.
This feels like an odd news story.
His actions reportedly caused some therapists to refuse working with him, and they've claimed that he was banned from at least 2 spas. Now, Justin Tucker, for his part, says, of course, that the claims are false, that he's going to fight them.
This was another Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
Different Justin Tucker.
Justin, what?
A different Justin Tucker.
Oh, okay. I'm not getting your joke.
There's other people named Justin Tucker in Baltimore.
Oh, are there?
Sure. I don't know.
Oh, you're saying that was his excuse?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just another. Oh, okay. I was like, what are you talking about? No, I totally did not get that.
This cannot be made good. It's shameful. It's a shameful, shameful day.
I was like, what are you talking about? What Justin Tucker are you talking about?
I'm sorry. Mike is still in professional reporting mode, and I'm trying to.
Yeah, I'm trying to read the papers here. I'm trying to put on a professional podcast.
Okay, very good. All right, so
yeah, so he claims that these are false accusations, that he's going to fight them. The NFL, of course, has experience with this, as you alluded to with the Deshaun Watson case. My concern here is that I don't think the NFL, it could go one of 2 ways. The NFL could bring the ban hammer hard, because they already had Deshaun Watson. This is damaging to the image of the NFL. Or they could be like, he's a kicker. Like, do you feel...
But he's also one of the best kickers.
Well, I mean, where do you think they land on this? Do you think that matters?
I think you got to take some action against them. 16 therapists.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, this isn't like 1 or 2.
Yeah, this is very much like the Deshaun Watson, where it's like, what? Like,
there's a lot of smoke here.
First off, 1 accusation is one too many.
Right.
Then when you get to like a handful, you're like, okay, something fishy's going on. When you get past double digits, you're in serious, like, there's, where there's smoke, there's fire. Like, you're standing there with a box of matches if there's double-digit accusers. That's a lot.
Yeah. So
do you think they bring the ban hammer down?
I think they're going to have to do some sort of disciplinary action.
Do you think more or less than, what's the over-under on the suspension? Because Deshaun Watson got 11 games.
Well, he got 11 from the NFL, and then didn't the team, because was it Houston suspended him for a whole year?
Yes. I think Houston, did they suspend him or did he sit out because there was contract issues?
No, I think, no. Houston suspended him for a year.
Okay. And then when you signed with the Browns,
then the NFL imposed
the 11-game suspension. Right. So, what are you thinking? How badly do the Ravens want to win a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Justin Tucker is the most accurate kicker in NFL history.
He was. I don't know about this season.
Yeah.
He actually, his production was falling off.
Do you think it's a nice, clean, and tidy?
You know what?
Like, you know what? He's old. He's been in the league. How many years is it now? 13, 14 years?
You know what? Yeah.
Clean break?
It wouldn't be a shocker to cut him.
Just outright
get rid of it. Yeah.
John Harbaugh did say they have a zero-tolerance policy after all that mess with the domestic violence charges against, who was it at the time? Was it Ray Rice?
Yeah. I mean, that would be an easy way out of this mess. You would stick to your principles, and then you probably get another kicker.
He's 35. He is still the most accurate kicker in NFL history. He's kicking 90. He's making 90% of his field goals. But then again, you do have John Harbaugh saying that they have a zero-tolerance policy, so they could just clean break.
Yeah,
Just be done with it.
I think that would be an interesting solution for the Ravens.
I think it's the cleanest and the easiest solution.
And then the Browns can pick them up.
Do the Browns just proceed to make an all-star team of like sexual offenders?
Why not?
Just sexual offenders and perverts. It's the Cleveland Browns. I can't think of a better way to describe that.
Perfect.
That city and franchise.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, yes, that was a real story that happened during the week or two that we couldn't cover because we're obviously talking Eagles. So we had to mention that.
It's just crazy that this has happened twice now in the past few years with the NFL.
You would think
they got to get this under control. Now, granted, this happened a decade ago. The first instance.
I forgot. I want to go back to that because I'm pretty sure 2016 was right around Watson getting found out about his misconduct. So does that mean Tucker was like doing it, and then Deshaun Watson like went public? His thing went public, and he's like, "Oh, I better quit that."
He's like, I better stop.
Yeah.
No, so he wasn't even drafted yet in 2016.
Ah.
Maybe Deshaun Watson learned about it from Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
Because he came into the league in 2017, the very next year, and he
was drafted by the Texans. So
yeah, well,
yeah.
Well, they text.
Right.
These players text back and forth.
Communication between teams.
Yes.
How dare you?
No, but the NFL's got to do something with their players and this misconduct. I mean, it was a big issue when there was a lot of domestic violence issues. What was it, several years ago? Now it's like sexual misconduct. They really got to like rein these guys in and, like, hey, don't do horrible things to other people. It's bad.
And stop doing it to massage therapists. They're trying to help you.
Yeah, it's also really alarming and kind of upsetting that they're taking advantage of these individuals who, like, it's a kind of an intimate thing to get and give a massage.
Yeah.
And they're doing it for its therapeutic reasons, but they're abusing that power dynamic, and it makes the whole thing very messy and very ugly.
Yeah. Speaking of things that are very dynamic and very ugly.
That's a transition.
The New York Football Jets.
Oh, boy.
There you go. How's that for a transition?
There was a bit of a nastiness last night, yes? Some very extreme nastiness, yes? Yes.
Yeah, that's a transition.
So, yes, it was. It was a good one, though, because the Jets are just a raging dumpster fire.
But they're going to be a new raging dumpster fire.
Yes, that's true. They are attempting to put out the fire. They have made it known that they are officially moving on from star quarterback Aaron Rodgers after, has it been 2 seasons now?
2 seasons, yep.
Well, 1 season and 1 drive.
Yeah. Yes.
I said it at the time when the deal was announced. You can go back and listen. I said, Aaron Rodgers is not going to do better than, what the heck was his name? Zach Wilson.
Yes.
I said it.
Yeah.
I said it.
Yeah,
and
you're
everyone's
right.
like, it's Aaron Rodgers. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Aaron Rodgers had a really good thing going in Green Bay. New York is not built for Aaron Rodgers to come in there and win. And he didn't.
Nope.
So the real question here, though, is what happens to the Jets in general? Because they completely upended their entire franchise to appease this man. New coaches, new coordinators, signed a bunch of people in free agency that he wanted to play buddy ball with, let him go on his darkness retreats. Now all the other players are like, well, can we do whatever we want now? And now they're cutting ties with him. How do they rein this back in and kind of turn things around? They gave up everything to appease him, and now they're like starting at zero.
Well, this is the first step. You cut off the head, and that's Aaron Rodgers. And no matter what you think of him, maybe you think he could have done well. Unfortunately, the past 2 seasons show that he did not do well. And he's just not the right fit for this team. And the Jets had enough of it. They flew him into New York, and allegedly Aaron Rodgers thought he was being welcomed back he's going to be welcomed back to the team, and he thought like this was like an introduction to the new head coach, and he thought like this was
That's awkward, and I love it. I'm here for it.
Yep. And no, this was the official meeting to tell him to pack his bags, get your things, and get out. Because they are going to move off of Aaron Rodgers this offseason. Now, the interesting thing to me, though, is how exactly are they going to move him off? Because he's going to carry a significant cap hit.
Do you know what it is on the top of your head?
I don't know off the top of my head what it is. But it is one of those things where it depends on if it's June 1st or not. There's
Right.
there's like a roster bonus or something that he gets. So if somebody is going to demand for Aaron Rodgers, they got to talk to the Jets now, but I don't see who would be in demand for a 41-year-old quarterback who is showing signs of rapidly deteriorating.
Yeah, so he carries a dead cap hit this year if it's cut pre-June 1st is $50 million.
Yeah.
If he's cut after June 1st, it's $14 million.
So they're probably going to wait on that.
Yeah,
then
they're going to wait. I don't think anybody's going to want to take on this contract because
it's not good.
no. This year it's $23.5 million. Next year it's $63 million. What were they thinking? I think overall though this is good for everyone involved. I think it's good for the Jets.
I declare bankruptcy!
Yeah, the Jets might actually be thinking about this.
Yeah, so I think that overall this is good for the Jets, even though in the short term it's going to be a disaster. I think getting rid of, let's not mince words, Aaron Rodgers is a toxic cancer for teams at this point. He was toxic and cancerous in Green Bay those last few years. Took him for a ride. He's like, I want all the money. Was beefing with offensive coordinators and coaches. It was not working out. Jordan Love is playing fantastic football in Green Bay now. They should have gotten rid of Rodgers sooner. Comes to the Jets, completely upends their entire franchise. That's now two different places where he's had ugly exits. So he's just not a good person to keep around. I think this is also good for Rodgers, though, because it checks his ego. I think the last few years in Green Bay, they let him get away with far too much. Then he comes to New York, he gets an office.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the report that he had an office and that he was making decisions, personnel decisions?
Well, literally, they got his best buddy Davante Adams over, which that's also going to be another question. What do you do with all of his favorite players?
Davante Adams, Lazard.
Yeah.
There's some other guy they made him sign. That he made them sign. I don't know, but I think this checks Aaron Rodgers' ego. You're still just a player. You're a good player, but you can't ever think that you're bigger than the franchise you play for. That's absurd.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Jets actually kind of navigate and what they actually do to move on from Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams and Lazard.
I do not like Aaron Rodgers, if people couldn't tell.
Yeah. So keep an eye on that as we go through the offseason because Aaron Rodgers is going to be available. Wouldn't it be the funniest thing if he ends up on the Vikings? That would be hilarious.
Oh,
he follows the exact same trajectory as Brett Favre.
And then, a year after that, he starts sending dick pics to reporters. That would, I feel like he's so close. He's so close to completing the full evolution.
There you go.
Is this the final stage?
The Favre-volution, if you want to call it that.
And then in 10 years, we'll be repeating this conversation, but just with Jordan Love.
Right. This is the new way.
Green Bay is weird. They make these fantastic, best in class quarterbacks, and then those quarterbacks just crash and burn. This is now 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Anyway,
speaking of quarterbacks crashing and burning,
yeah, a potential landing spot maybe for Aaron Rodgers.
Possibly.
He's been linked to this next team, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep.
Are kind of just throwing darts in the dark.
Yeah, the Steelers are literally throwing every single idea that they have against the wall and seeing if it sticks. And when I mean that, I really do mean that because I've literally sent texts to Mike about every single rumor that I've heard. It's been ridiculous. Name a quarterback, and the Steelers have had an article or a tweet or something that got published in the last 2 or 3 weeks that says the Steelers have looked into an option for this quarterback, which I do not understand. The Steelers literally had 2 decent quarterbacks on their roster, and they decide we're going to get rid of both of them.
So I have the list here.
Oh my God!
Of people that you sent me because they had at some point Russell Wilson and Justin Fields.
Justin Fields had a winning record for them.
He had a winning record. Russell Wilson wasn't terrible. They were talking about how he was reviving his career there, but they've also been tied to potential trade talks with the Jaguars for Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
Asking about the situation with Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
And talking about the health of Kirk Cousins as a potential solution.
Yep.
Then earlier, just the day today of recording, they were tied to Daniel Jones as well.
Danny Dimes.
So you've got, in the span of 4 days, Aaron Rodgers, Trevor Lawrence, Kirk Cousins, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, Daniel Jones, and mystery draft quarterback, potentially. do they just bring them all into camp and
I don't know.
have them throw it out? Like,
they are just so lost when it comes to the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah. I said my comment back to you was, these are the names of a team who lacks an identity on offense and doesn't know what to do about it.
Right. And I'm really surprised at this from Mike Tomlin. Like,
I'm not. He's a defensive coach. And I think
there's two sides of the ball. You got to at least know something on the other side.
And he's overstayed his welcome.
Oof.
No, let's be honest. They will find a quarterback. It will be one of the people on that list, and it will be frustrating and it will be stupid. And they will still end up 10-7. They will make the playoffs. They will exit in the divisional round, somehow miraculously winning the wild card in a fashion that they don't deserve to.
No, they lose in the first round.
Oh, they lose in the first round? Is that?
Yeah, I think Mike Tomlin, if I remember correctly, Mike Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game since 2016, if I remember correctly.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
He makes the playoffs, but they don't progress.
Their division is too competitive for Mike Tomlin to be like, we're just gonna play football. Like, that's I think that's his coaching style. Like I don't what is Mike Tomlin's thing? It's like, we're just gonna play football. Okay. No,
that's every halftime speech. Get out there, we're gonna play football.
Tell me though, is that not the vibe he gives off? Is that not the vibe he gives off?
Men, we're gonna go out there. We're gonna play football. Get out.
I watched. It was like an NFL film's mic'd up, and one of the players was like, "Oh, I didn't know you were mic'd up." He goes, "Shut the hell up!" And he like marches into the locker room. Like, your brand of football is just yell.
Yes.
There's no more nuance to it than that. So
I'm angry man. You
literally
coach football. I coach football. You play football.
Literally, that's his vibe. So yeah, I mean, your division is too competitive for you to just be angry man. Says play football. Like, you got Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. You need an actual solution. You can't just shrug your shoulders and be like, we'll just be the Steelers.
Yeah, we Steelers. We good team.
Yeah, those 6 Super Bowls are only good for display cases. We're talking about the here and now. Did you like that?
I just have that vision of, because Mike Tomlin's got those big eyes.
Yeah.
Just imagine like they're like bursting at the seams like blood vessels.
He's just perpetually angry.
Yeah.
And the reason why you like that image is because you know that's like
it's probably true.
It's probably close to being true.
You play football.
You play football.
I coach football. You play football. Get out there.
This is the man that tried to trip a kick returner.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think he's overstayed his welcome. He is this generation's Jeff Fisher.
All right. Well, there you go. Some of the tidbit headlines that we saw that we couldn't cover during the Super Bowl run-up.
Yeah, we had priorities.
Yep. But I'm sure that won't be the end of it because, you know, what's funny is as much as we're basking in the Eagles' Super Bowl championship glory, the NFL Combine, I believe, is already next week.
And then the draft
is April.
Yeah.
So
right around the corner.
Yeah, unfortunately, as much as we would love to just stay in that bliss of winning the Super Bowl, before you know it, it's going to be time for the 2025 season.
Hey, there's no off season. There's just non-playing seasons.
That's right. That's what Roger Goodell said. Yep. He wants a non-playing season, not an off season.
Yep.
So, yeah, you better enjoy the bliss while you can. And also, keep in mind that golf is right around the corner. The Masters is April 13th on CBS.
And that's when I begin my long slumber. No, I'm kidding.
All right. Well, that's all the sports news for right now. We're going to take a little bit of a break, but don't go anywhere because we've still got entertainment, news, and the non-fortune cookie odd news when we return from the break. This is the Crispy Noodle Podcast. We'll be right back.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby,
Barnes & Noble,
and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
Just a moment, you just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what?
Come on.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
Get some cups.
Why did you do this to me?
Hop in the car. Get some cups.
For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? How dare get your hands off there.
No, we've only got one cup.
Ta-ta and farewell.
So I guess get him in the car.
One cup, look. They even...
Oh, yeah, we're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Yes, a lot of sports news, a lot of football news that we had to retread and gain ground on.
Just the way I like it.
But don't worry, we do cover other sports news that happens during the non-playing season, like golf. Oh, yeah, I can't wait. I got so excited when I saw that first commercial. I think it was like the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, it is coming up. It's coming up, right? In May, right?
No, April.
April?
The Masters is April.
Oh, why did I think it was May? I thought it was May, June, July, August.
No, it's April, May, June, July. Now, the British wait, which one got moved? The PGA Championship was the one that got moved. PGA Championship used to be August. Now it's May.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's the old switcheroo they did.
Okay. Oh, that's great for you. You roll right from football straight into golf.
Yeah, I mean,
and you get that little bit of a bridge with the combine and the draft.
I've said right now is kind of the best time of the sports year because you get Super Bowl, March Madness, and then the Masters.
Yeah. That's a thing.
Yeah, so you're
March
not
Madness. Yeah.
You missed the boat on these
my
things.
My problem with college sports is there's too many damn teams. And I mean that's really the only complaint. There's just too many. There's just too many damn teams.
Oh man,
yeah.
Well, you never have you ever filled out a March Madness bracket?
Yes, yours back in high school.
That's the only one you ever did.
The only one I've ever done. Yeah.
Oh.
Because I'm the type of person that's like, oh, Gonzaga, that's a fun name.
Hey, sometimes that wins.
That works.
My mom, true story. This is a true story. My mom won a March Madness pool because she just knew Duke. And she put Duke all the way, and they weren't supposed to win that year. It was a year they weren't supposed to win.
Wow,
they were a number 3 seed or 2 seed.
Like, and she just recognized that one name, and she's like, bum bum bum.
Yep, and they won that year.
Wow.
Like sometimes you just need blind luck.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one and only bracket I did. I think I didn't do too bad. I think I ended up like 3rd or 4th.
Yeah,
I didn't win, but yeah.
It's fun. I recommend it. Do a March Madness if they offer it at your work or. Wherever you go.
Are any of the Philly teams supposed to be good this year?
Probably not. Villanova hasn't been good since Jay Wright left.
That sucks.
Yeah.
So. Oh, well. Yeah, so there's really no reason for me to pay attention.
We'll see. It's still, I think right now they're in the midway part of the season, so we'll see.
Also, March Madness doesn't take place in March for the most part.
Well,
it starts in March barely, but it mostly takes place in April.
It concludes April, yeah, because what they do
is...
They
should call it April Madness.
But it doesn't take place all of April.
It doesn't take place all in March either.
But all the madness happens in March.
So what happens in April? No madness?
Just like the championship
So
games.
it changes from March Madness to
April
April,
championship.
appeasement.
April championship.
Boo. Boring.
April.
Football's the best.
What's a good... I'm trying to help you here. What's a good A thing for...
A? April awesomeness. I don't know.
I don't know. April Ascension.
Oh, that's
there
good.
you
April
go.
Ascension. All right, so March
you Madness.
Delve into March Madness, and then you have the April Ascension.
Yes.
I think I could get behind that one.
There you go.
That sounds like a fantasy thing. Like it's like a fantasy epic. I like it.
They do travel for the national semifinals and national finals, so maybe it's like a journey.
Oh.
You've made it through. You get to go on the final journey.
If they did it to like a Lord of the Rings theme.
Oh God, Mike, I'm trying to help you here. I can't do
That
anymore.
would help me. That would help me.
I can't help you anymore.
The basketball net is the One Ring, except there's two of them, so that's a little confusing.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
No.
God damn it, Mike. I'm trying to help you here. All right. Well, all right. When we get into March Madness, maybe I'll convince you then.
Okay.
All right. But for right now, we need to jump topics and go to the second part of our show, which is the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty?
Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, officially in entertainment entree mode. And we're going to start with the segment where Mike is going to let you know what you should keep an eye out for this upcoming week with new movie, TV, and video game properties in Mike's This Week in Entertainment. All right, Mikey, what do you got for the people?
All right, first up, White Lotus has returned to HBO and Max. It was actually last weekend. Again, delayed because of the Super Bowl talking about this, but Season 3 takes viewers to another White Lotus luxury hotel, this time in Thailand, and follows several groups of dysfunctional guests as they cope with their personal issues and demons. As with previous seasons, it is a new story with new characters, but it still has some interesting callbacks and crossovers to previous seasons. So if you're a fan, definitely check it out. The intro was not as good, though, I will say. Do you watch White Lotus?
Yeah, I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah, you didn't like it?
I liked Season 2 with the... No, that was straight fire. This one,
You know what's funny? You're not the first person to tell me that. A lot of people like the.
I loved it. No lie, I listened to that on Spotify. Yes, I do. It's awesome.
It's so awesome. All you gotta say is.
No, it's great. Anyway, The Americas is also
Michael Costanzo official review. It has the.
That's all you need to know. That alone makes it 8 out of 10. The Americas is a new nature documentary series hosted by Tom Hanks, premiering this week on Peacock. This is from the same team that brought you Planet Earth. This documentary takes 5 years of filming across North and South America and has turned it into a 10-part series. I'm looking forward to checking that out. I love wildlife documentaries, so I will definitely be watching The Americas on Peacock this week. And finally, in video games, Lost Records Blood and Rage comes to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC this week. It's the next project from the studio who brought gamers the Life is Strange series, and this game follows a similar gameplay style. Players take a group of high school friends who are reunited after 27 years of no contact to confront a long-buried secret that made them promise to never speak again. The game splits time between the characters in 1995 and in 2022, so you get to see the group of friends in two completely different times of their lives. Players get to make narrative decisions that influence the direction of the story and have lasting consequences. It has generally positive reviews so far in the 7s and 8s out of 10. And if you have PlayStation Plus Premium, I think, you get it for free with that service. So go check out Lost Records Blood and Rage, coming to all major consoles this week. And that's what we're looking forward to this week in entertainment.
All right, Mikey, thank you for that segment. Do we want to talk some video game news here?
Yeah, we can talk some video game news. So recently there were a couple of articles that came out talking about EA and its reaction to BioWare's latest blockbuster game, Dragon Age Veilguard. I've been talking about it a few times during the show.
You're a big fan of this game.
I'm a big fan. I've been playing it, put way too many hours into it because it is just a game that does not end. I don't understand why I can't get to the end of it, but that's a separate topic. EA is also mildly frustrated at the game. They are saying that it failed. It did not live up to expectations. They said, quote, it had high quality launch and was well reviewed, but failed to resonate with a broad enough audience. They're saying that gamers want shared world features and deeper engagement.
Oh, good for you.
So what does that mean? Well, people, gamers, and game media are afraid that EA is taking the wrong message from this game, that they are thinking that Dragon Age Veilguard, quote-unquote, failed because it didn't have live service elements in the game.
Oh, really?
Really.
Oh.
The problem with this logic is twofold. One, the game is successful. It had 1.5 million players during its launch window. That's not a small amount of players for a single-player game. That's a pretty good number.
Yeah.
And it scored in the mid 8 out of 10 range. So critically, it was reviewed well. Couple million players. By any stretch, I think a developer would say, hey, that's a successful game, right? But not EA. EA has 74% of its business coming from live service games. Live service games are games like Fortnite.
Things you can charge money on constantly.
Yeah, the Call of Duties, the Fortnites, the Overwatch.
Anything with packs.
Right.
Anything.
Loot boxes, packs, special currency. They want players to keep coming back and spending money. It makes sense.
Drain your pocketbook.
Yeah. So it makes sense for them to want that from their games, but I think that, and some people in game media are echoing this sentiment, that EA is shooting themselves in the foot with focusing so heavily on it, because we've seen the flip side of the coin where if a live service game doesn't work and you have all this content planned out and then all of a sudden it tanks, well, then you're screwed. You know, you have all this content plan, you have this roadmap, you have this whole big team to support it for years on years on years, and it just doesn't take off. And we've seen that a few times. Sony had a live service game, there's a name I can't remember now, completely tanked. They had to shut it down. I think it was Concord is what it was.
Yeah. Yep.
There's been other examples of them not taking off. For every Fortnite, there's like 2 or 3 that just fail to live up to expectations. But EA wants every game to be a big, sprawling, live service game. It sounds like you don't like that.
No.
Well, there you go.
I have selected no.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just preposterous. You can't expect every game to fit the mold of a massive multiplayer
perpetually online.
Perpetual
live
online.
service,
And not every video game story fits that vessel.
Right. The other problem is that gamers only have so much time. So my big complaint with Dragon Age Veilguard is taking up too much of my time. I can't get to the end of it. And when you already have a lot of live service games, most gamers don't play more than 2 or 3 games on rotation at any given time, right?
Yeah.
Like, how many games do you juggle at most? 2?
Yeah, 2 or 3.
2 or 3? So if you have already a live service game in that rotation. You got your Fortnite. Then you have your casual, play for 15-minute games like a Roller Coaster Tycoon or like a Madden. Then you don't have room for how many live service games can one player maintain? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like not
they
every
all
game can be
can't
live
be
service.
this.
You start to cannibalize your own market, right? Don't you want to diversify? If 100% are live service, if they start failing, or if players are playing too many at one time, you start to eat away at your own business. Like it doesn't make sense to me.
Also, how about this? I just don't want to spend money.
That's another thing. There's a significant portion of gamers out there. I think it's an untapped, silent majority that want to play games like Dragon Age because there's evidence to the contrary. Baldur's Gate 3 was a huge open-world RPG like Dragon Age Veilguard. They launched at the same time. One of the reasons Dragon Age Veilguard did not do as well is because Baldur's Gate 3 was incredible. And millions of people decided to go that way instead of Dragon Age Veilguard. It wasn't because Dragon Age Veilguard is bad. It just got beat at its own genre by a better offering, by a studio that respected the single-player model, that took the time and effort to make a really compelling, full-featured, deep single-player experience. So there's examples of games out there that can go that route and be incredibly successful. Look at every Sony exclusive. Look at literally every Nintendo game ever made. You don't need to have a live service model to be successful. And I think the most frustrating part of this, especially for the two of us, is what does this mean for the future of BioWare, specifically for Mass Effect 5? Because for the past 20 years, EA's been chipping away at them. They went from the highest high of Mass Effect 2, and then every subsequent release, they've had less staff, less resources, cram in a multiplayer service here, force them to make a live service game with Anthem. What does Mass Effect 5 look like? And do you have any hope for it at this point?
I mean, I have hope for BioWare. But if EA is the evil overlord that's coming down from above them and is saying you need to put the live action portion of this game as your number one concern.
Isn't Mass Effect perfect for live service? I can see them saying that. That's the thing that worries me, is that they're putting out these statements as a feeler, specifically with BioWare, because they know, okay, maybe a fantasy RPG, that's hard to do live service with. Not everybody can be flying dragons. That's absurd. But a sci-fi opera, that can be a live service game.
Yeah, everyone can have a ship. Everyone can have, different crew. Everyone can have different stats.
Yeah, so many different planets and different alien races. And they're looking at Helldivers over on PlayStation. Like, well, they're kind of doing it.
Stop trying to take my money. Please stop.
So, would you buy a Mass Effect if it was live service?
Probably not. I don't know. I would really need to see the gameplay. I would really need to see the reviews. But that's a tough sell.
I'll just be honest. I've never, and nor do I want to play a live service game.
Yeah.
I'd probably forego it altogether. Like if they were like, this is an always online shared world, I'd be like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Also, what happens if you lose the internet? What happens if something happens and you can't connect to the internet?
What happens if it doesn't sell enough loot boxes in the first quarter?
Yeah. Game gets canceled.
Look at what happened to Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League.
Yeah.
Look what happened to Concord. They just drop support because it's not making enough money. It's not making as much money as Fortnite. No game is making the same type of money that Fortnite is making. Fortnite broke video games.
Yeah. That's the sad part,
I hate it. I love the fact that some developers are out there making single-player, narrative-driven games like the Naughty Dogs, we'll see what Rockstar does. They used to make them.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing is, there's definitely a marked shift. Things like Fortnite and Grand Theft Auto Online kind of broke the traditional model of games. Like everything is hyper connected now. Like, you need a Rockstar account. You got to be always online. Oh, I got to log in to get my free Shark Bucks or V-Bucks.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Actually, on a tangent, so just a minor complaint, but I every now and then I'm trying to beat Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah. Do they have live service elements?
No, but they still want you to connect to the Ubisoft network.
Oh, yeah. A lot of games are pushing that now.
But that's so weird to me because wasn't EA? I thought EA has the Star Wars copyright. Because I could have sworn for Jedi Survivor, you had to have an EA account.
Yes, I think, yeah.
So
I think Outlaws is, yeah.
So now within the IP, they could be different accounts you need.
Yeah, multiple accounts for games in the same IP universe. Yeah, everything's just...
I just want to be able to put the game in and hit play and go. Why is there so many different connections?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the hyper-connected, always online, like, log in every day to get your bonus, spend your real money on fake money.
Yeah.
I did that briefly with Overwatch. I played it a little bit. I spent a tiny bit of money, no more than like an actual game would cost. Like, that was my mental cap. I'm like, I'm not spending more on this than I would to buy a game. And I got to that figure, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. Is it still fun? And at a certain point, it wasn't.
Yeah.
You know?
So I think we're in agreement. We're not supporting this.
It just bothers me that EA is taking the wrong lesson from this, because these two things are separate and unique. They're conflating the success of specific live service games with the shortcomings of Dragon Age. Those things are happening in parallel but separately.
Yeah. They're not related.
No, they're not related. Like, Dragon Age can be a subpar game, and in some ways it has been. And you can also have successful live service games. Like, it's not bad because it's not live service.
Right.
Frustrating.
But corporations, that's how they see it.
Yeah. Well, live service makes money. This didn't make money. It must because it's not live service.
Yeah.
And those people get paid so much money. Anyway.
On that note, we got to wrap it up there. And we will go to happier things because it is time for the third and final portion of our show, the non-fortune cookie news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing!
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Mandada bastata. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts. That's a lot of nuts! That'll be $4, baby! You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at meet tornado.
No, go past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders, go to the bathroom, because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news here in this segment. Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story and keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing this story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen. And even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen, because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths, and I'm ready to get started. Where are we heading to?
Did you really have to ask that question?
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
Almost every week.
Yep. You know what? This might be the universe trying to get you to get into baseball.
Uh-oh, okay.
Because you know where the Phillies have spring training.
Of course, down in Florida I can't remember where. Clearwater?
Yep, Clearwater.
There you go. Hey, I'm from Philadelphia area.
Yes, and that is where this story takes place.
Oh, boy. Was this a Philly person?
No.
Okay. Thank God.
There is though a reference because Valentine's Day was last week. I know we were distracted by the Super Bowl parade. The Super Bowl parade was on Valentine's Day.
It was, yeah.
But for everybody else, Valentine's Day is very important. You gotta make sure you did something for your partner, your significant other. You hopefully did something romantic. You did some dinner, or you had a movie, maybe a show, or
like normal Valentine's Day things, but. I'm assuming that's not what happened in Clearwater.
No.
Oh, boy.
Because...
What's their idea of romance? 7-Eleven?
You're not that far off.
Wawa.
With Valentine's Day, this couple decided, why not get together and bang in broad daylight outside of a Wendy's?
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give you my hot and fresh Baconator.
Oh, check out these spicy nugs.
These spicy nugs. I got to say, that puts Wendy's a step above. Oh, man.
I also want to call this out. Props to everybody here. The couple that were caught in the act by Clearwater police were identified as 29-year-old Timario Merle.
Whoa.
Yeah, what a name there. Timario.
Timario?
Timario. Is
like Mario, but with tie in front of it.
Yeah,
Timario.
I guess he was in a competition and tied. I don't know.
I'm
either going to name my son Mario or Luigi, and I don't know which one I should go with. 3 votes. Oh, it's a tie. Tie Mario. I don't know. I don't know how else you get that result. So that's the guy, 29-year-old Ty Mario Merle. The woman was 50-year-old Demetria Wilson.
I'm 50 years old. I like to kick, stretch, and kick. I'm 50 years old.
Woo! Yeah, right outside of the Wendy's.
Wow.
21-year difference.
21-year difference. That's
some cougar
that's
action.
That's a big age gap.
Some cougar action.
Oh yeah. Outside, is that where the cougars prowl? Is outside the Wendy's?
Outside, at least that's what they do in Clearwater. The Clearwater Cougars.
Oh man, the Clearwater Cougars. Oh man,
they love those Wendy's.
That's really romantic though, to do it outside of Wendy's.
The officer on the scene, Parker Moody, reported that he saw Wilson and Merrill lying on the ground behind the bus stop in view of a busy highway. The Wendy's was outside U.S. Highway 19. And I've got the full police report here.
Okay.
Here's what it says, quote, Wilson, unencumbered by pants.
What? Why is that unencumbered by pants?
Yes.
Why can't they just say pantsless?
No, we got it.
Naked.
No, I really go the one episode we had a couple weeks ago. I really think it goes by like the
count?
words on the word count. Yeah. Do they get charged by the word?
Unencumbered by pants.
Yes.
Okay.
Wilson, unencumbered by pants, was on her right side with her buttocks facing her partner. Merrill's pants were pulled down, and
this is so descriptive.
And he was in a turgid state as he repetitively engaged with Wilson.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
Nah, this was an English major who ended up accidentally becoming a cop. He was in a turgid state.
A turgid. Do you know what that means, turgid?
I assume it's synonymous with rigid.
Swollen is the official.
swollen.
The official dictionary definition.
Yeah, swollen and distended.
Turgid.
Oh God, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
This is in a turgid state.
This guy, he dug deep in the dictionary.
He thrust his manhood upon her. Like, what is he trying to write? A romance novel? A smut novel?
Yeah, in the police report.
He's in a turgid state.
A turgid state.
Do they give cops a handbook and like, if you don't want to get graphic, use these words? And it's like a thesaurus of like,
these are the words you must use.
Instead of popping a boner, say turgid. Like what?
You're gonna like this, Mike. The charge that they got from Mr. Parker Moody,
lewd and lascivious.
Close. He gave them performing an unnatural and lascivious act. Whoa. Unnatural? I think this is very natural.
What was unnatural about
Yeah.
it?
I mean, other than it was just outside of Wendy's.
Well, I'm so concerned now. Were they...
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
I have never heard that one.
Yeah, performing an unnatural and lascivious act.
Whoa. That sounds way more intense.
Yeah.
Unnatural. That almost makes it sound like they're doing something like unholy.
They're actually summoning the Antichrist while they're boning.
Right. That's how you do it, I think.
There was a circle of candles around.
You get nice and turgid.
Yes.
And then you summon the Antichrist.
Outside Wendy's. You have spicy nugs littered.
Right. You make a pentagram out of spicy nugs.
Yes.
And then you get nice and turgid, and you give her Dave's secret sauce. And that summons the Antichrist.
There you go. That's all in Florida.
Oh, Lord.
Has to be in Florida, obviously.
Obviously. That's the closest place to hell.
Yes. So
people think it's Death Valley. It's not. It's Florida.
I think so after some of these odd news stories. Unfortunately, though, both of them do have past police records.
Yeah, well, that makes perfect sense.
So they were locked up on $500 bond a piece. $500
a peach.
Ooh,
those are some expensive peaches.
Oh. I mean, if it's good ass, that's a peach.
That's a peach.
Yeah, $500 a peach.
$500.
Sorry, $500 a piece. But they both have pleaded not guilty, so they're going to fight this charge.
I mean, he was turgid, though.
Very turgid.
You can't. They have it in the report. He was turgid. You can't fight it if you're turgid.
What am I supposed to do in a turgid state?
If he was not turgid, maybe it's like, it was a misunderstanding.
That would be unnatural.
Right. That would be unnatural. Oh man, I just want them to get in front of the judge, and the judge is like, "Were you turgid, sir?"
Excuse me,
yes,
sir.
I was very turgid.
We need a
guilty.
Yeah. Do you even know what that word means, sir?
No, I don't.
Have you cracked open a dictionary recently?
No, but that cop has, apparently.
Yeah, that cop, man.
Unencumbered by pants, he was turgid.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like, why is it so... Like, why we would call it purple prose. It's too much to describe what's happening.
Purple prose?
Purple prose.
It sounds like you got a problem down there.
Oh, I was going to give you an English lesson, but now...
Oh, my balls!
Yeah, sorry, that's what it sounds like to me over there.
No,
oh, my balls!
Purple prose is writing that's overly flowery or
Okay.
excessive in description. So when he goes, unencumbered by pants, she is straddled upon her right side by his turgid manhood. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Definitely could have said just pantsless.
Right. Pantsless, he was boning her. Done.
Yeah.
I got the picture.
Yeah. Because this is like a full-blown paragraph I had to read as opposed to just one sentence.
I think they are. They're getting graded by... There must be a rubric. Remember back in grade school, high school, the rubrics? It's like you got style, you got... I don't know what else
the
is
cops
on
are getting judged on style.
They're getting judged on style.
On their police reports.
Word count. Right, exactly.
We
They have to use their vocab words. Did you use turgid in a sentence? Did you spell unencumbered correctly? 9 out of 10.
All right, we need to make...
What was turgid? Be specific.
We need to make a note of this. We need to get somebody we need to get a judge on the show to discuss juries, and now we need to get a police reporter on the show.
Yeah.
To review, like, how exactly does this work? Because some of the reports I've been reading recently have been ridiculous.
I would love to understand the process. Like, they get back to their desk, they have their handwritten notes. I got to put it in the computer system, and they're like, oh, you know what? I didn't like how I said he was bonerific. Let me look up a synonym to bonerific. Oh, turgid. It's like when students use a word that like kind of makes sense, but not really. You know?
Yes.
Have you ever seen that where it's like if somebody's trying to describe like something's like messy, it's like apocalyptic. The apocalyptic room. Like, no, it was messy. He's like, he's turgid. Just say he had a boner.
Yes.
Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. I'm giving like a weird English lesson.
Yes, go ahead, Professor.
Because I used to grade papers like that. It's stupid and it's frustrating. I can say that now that I haven't been in academia for years.
What would you give this guy? His
7 out of
report?
10.
I mean, that's a passing grade.
It's a passing grade. I would say.
Did you find his writing interesting?
No. I don't like purple prose. I think it was purple prose.
But you still would pass him.
I'd still pass him. Well, because he met the requirements of the rubric. He described what was happening. I don't know. I don't even know what the rubric is. I don't know what they're being graded on.
Yeah, I guess you're right. We don't have a rubric.
So we got to come up with we should come up with a crispy noodle rubric for odd news.
With some of these police reports, yeah.
Style, description. Like we need to like find some kind of grading criteria.
Yeah. But
that's just I just can't get over turgid.
Do you want me to reread it and then you can do one final analysis?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so get your professor mode on.
Okay, professor mode on. All right.
Okay, you should have a red marker or something.
I'm gonna take notes. I'm gonna take notes as you read it. Go
okay.
ahead.
All right.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the part that's actually from the police report. Wilson, unencumbered by pants, was on her right side with her buttocks facing her partner. Merrill's pants were pulled down and he was in a turgid state as he repetitively engaged with Wilson. So that is all taken from the police report right there, that paragraph.
Okay, so
please
for me,
give me your criticism.
For me, firstly, like I said before, there's a little bit of purple prose going on there. I think they're using words that work, but they don't give the right vibe or tone to the narrative. I also think that they're overly descriptive in uninteresting ways, so we don't need to know that she's on her right side. It doesn't lend anything to the characters that she's on her right side, right? It doesn't.
How do you need? We need to know what direction she's facing.
But that doesn't matter.
Is she facing towards the highway?
It doesn't matter in their.
That could be unnatural.
It doesn't matter in their character arc. We need to know how they ended up in the grassy knoll by the highway. We need to know the inciting incident. So they're lacking specificity and key details that lead us to that point. So in further review, I actually give it like a 6 out of 10.
Oh, does that mean it fails?
Yeah, because we don't know the outcome. We don't know the inciting incident. We don't have any, like I said, like they're focusing too much on. Why am I taking this so seriously?
Yes, you are.
I'm taking this way too seriously. No, 6 out of 10.
So it fails.
It would be a D. In college, you give Ds.
Yeah, Ds get degrees, don't they?
Ds do get degrees, unfortunately. I mean, I guess the cop met the bare minimum of telling us what happened, but it's lacking details.
So he's Tommy Boy. He gets the look on the thing and gets to celebrate. I passed.
That's right. He passed technically.
All right. Well, there you go. Sorry. We do have the officer. That was Officer Parker Moody. Sorry, Parker Moody, if you're listening to this.
We'll talk after class.
Yeah. Professor.
Did you plagiarize your police report? It sounds like you swapped it out with ChatGPT synonyms. Turgid.
Yeah.
Turgid. I have never once read that word anywhere.
Well, now you have. Here on the Non-Fortune Cookie Odd News. You never know what you're going to get.
You really don't.
That's right.
I never once thought I'd get turgid.
Turgid.
In 13 years of the podcast. 13, how many years has it been?
Yeah, it's been
so
a while.
many years.
So many years.
That's the first turgid.
That's the first turgid.
There's always a first for everything. Turgid.
And there you go, folks. You never know what exactly will happen on the Non-Fortune Cookie Odd News. You learn a new word, turgid.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a word you heard once but you never thought would be used again.
Right.
There you go, the magic that is the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in and supporting our little show. Oh, man. I'm glad you learned something new just like I did. And
yep, we all learned
We
something
all learned
something new.
That is the goal here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Come with us on a learning journey.
Yes. Just you never know. If you like what you heard, make sure you follow us on all of our social media pages, Facebook, X, Instagram. Make sure you go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. But most importantly, make sure you have a way to get the podcast sent to you every week. 2 main ways to do that. First one is on our YouTube page. Go to our YouTube page, Crispy Noodle Podcast, and hit that subscribe button so that you get the video podcast sent to your YouTube account every week. And you can watch it on your computer, watch it on your phone, watch it on TV. If you've got the YouTube app, I've seen you can put us on TV.
Yeah,
it's fun. Why not? And you can learn turgid in your living room.
Put it on for the kids. It's like learning curriculum,
Get them to learn. Second main way to do it is on Spotify. Go to our Spotify page and follow us there. But with Spotify, you can put Spotify on in the background and listen to us as an audio-only podcast. And with Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, you can take us on the go with you through Spotify. So make sure you do one of those 2 ways to follow our podcast every week and enjoy the show that we keep putting on for you. And hopefully you guys are enjoying it.
Yep, so many ways to check out the Crispy Noodle Podcast, but if you need to get in touch with us individually on X, formerly known as Twitter, you can find us there. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I am at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. Find us on X, let us know what's happening. And if there's something you want us to talk about on next week's episode, let us know, and we'll give you a sausage shout-out for it. But for right now, we need to wrap it up. This has been the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your fidgeting salad of life and boring news. That'll do it. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys
later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.